Hello and welcome to Easy Education. I am Ritu Patra and in this session I will bring to you objective questions on daily basis that will help you to crack UPSC Prelims 2021. So let's see the session. First question, with reference to state and their schemes for financial assistance to farmers, consider the following pairs. Statement 1, Haryana, Ritu Bandhu, Jharkhand, Kaila. Statement 3, West Bengal, Kisak Bandhu. Now, which of the pairs given above are correctly matched? Option A, 1 and 2 only. Option B, 2 and 3 only. And option C, 3 only. Option D, 1, 2 and 3 all. So, Haryana, Ritu Bandhu is incorrect because Ritu Bandhu belongs to Telangana. It's not Haryana. Okay. Jharkhand, Kaila, this is also incorrect because Kaila belongs to Odisha. It's not Jharkhand. And statement 3, West Bengal, Krisak Bandhu. This is absolutely correct. That's why the correct option will option C, that is 3 only. Let's see the explanation. The Farmer Income Support Scheme being implemented by the states in the current form are targeted schemes. It implies that the benefit is extended to persons satisfying a set of selected criteria. Most of these schemes have been announced in agriculture sectors. Such schemes have been allocated a significant portion of the sectoral budget. Let's see the schemes. Mukhyamantri Parivar Samman Nidhi, it belongs to the agriculture sector and initiated in Haryana. This scheme belongs to Haryana and its benefit. Let's see the benefits. Financial support of rupees 6,000 per year to small and marginal farmers and workers in unorganized sectors. Okay. So, Haryana scheme is not Ritu Bandhu. Okay. Rather, it's Mukhyamantri Parivar Samman Nidhi. Okay. Next, Mukhyamantri Krishi Ashirvad Yojana belongs to Jharkhand. This scheme belongs to Jharkhand in agriculture sector and its objective is to give farm investment support up to 5,000 per acre per year to the farmers. Okay. So, it belongs to Jharkhand. Next, Kaila. The full form is Krushak Assistance and Livelihood and Income Augmentation Scheme. That belongs to Odisha and is benefit of financial assistance up to rupees 25,000 over 5 agricultural seasons to small and marginal farmers, sharecroppers and agricultural landless laborers. Okay. Next, Ritu Bandhu. Ritu Bandhu schemes belongs to Telangana and in agriculture sectors it gives farm investment support up to 10,000 per acre and per annum to farmers. Then next, Krisak Bandhu is a scheme of West Bengal government and what is the benefits? It's assure financial assistance up to 5,000 per annum for farmers with 1 or more acre land holding. Okay, so steps option C is correct, that 3 only. Next, which of the following are indirect tax sources of the state's own revenue? Statement 1, value added tax on petroleum product. Statement 2, stamp duty and registration fees. Statement 3, taxes and duties on electricity. Now select the correct answer using the code given below. Option A, 1 and 3 only. Option B, 2 and 3 only. Option C, 1 and 2 only. And option D, 1, 2 and 3 all. Let's see. Value added tax on petroleum products is an indirect tax owned by the state's own revenue, is absolutely correct. Stamp duty and registration fees, this is not a indirect tax, it's a direct tax. That's why statement 2 is incorrect. Statement C, third, states and tax and duties on electricity, yes, this is absolutely correct. So the correct option will 1 and 3 only, that is option A is correct. Okay, let's see the explanation. Own tax revenue of states can be categorized as direct tax and indirect tax. Direct tax include taxes on income and property, whereas indirect tax include taxes on commodity and services. Okay, so key sources of direct tax from the states are tax on agriculture income, land revenue, stamp duty and registration fees, and key indirect tax include state goods, service tax, sales tax and value added tax on alcohol and petroleum products, state excise duty on alcohol, tax on vehicles, and tax and duties on electricity. That's why option A is correct. Let's see the next question. With reference to power sector in India, consider the following statement. Statement 1. The capacity utilization of thermal power plant has declined in the last 10 years. Statement 2. Share of installed generation capacity under gas is lower than when. Now see, which of the statement given above is or are correct? Option A, 1 only. Option B, both 1 and 2. And option D, neither 1 nor 2. So here the correct option will, the capacity utilization of thermal power plant has declined in the last 10 years is absolutely correct. Share of installed generation capacity under gas is lower than well. This is incorrect because the share of installed generation capacity under gas is higher than oil. Okay, that's why this one is incorrect. Let's see the explanation. The capacity utilization of thermal power plant, also called plant load factor, that is PLF, has declined from 78% in 2019 to 61% in 2018-19. Hence statement 1 is correct. Next, low PLF implies that thermal plant have been lying idle, which could be due to non-availability of fuel, surplus capacity in certain region of the country, low demand of power, or demand being met through other sources. And now, coal accounts for a majority of power generation at 55%. Overall thermal power generation include coal and natural gas is at 64%. Renewable energy account for around 21% of total generation capacity, and hydropower account for 13% of general and nuclear for 2%. Share of installed generation capacity in megawatt and under gas is 7.1% and oil is 0.2%. That's why statement 2 is incorrect. Okay, next is the next question. With reference to non-personal data governance framework, consider the following statement. Statement 1. Non-private can be shared for legal requirement. Statement 2. Anonymized data for vehicle registration can be considered as public non-personal data. Now, which of the statements given above is or are correct? Option A, 1 only. Option B, 2 only. Option C, both 1 and 2. And option D, neither 1 nor 2. Let's see. Non-private can be shared for legal requirement. This is correct. Anonymized data of vehicle registration can be considered as public non-personal data. That is also correct. So the correct option will option C, that is both are correct. Let's see the explanation. Sharing of non-personal data. Any entity may raise a data sharing request for a sovereign purpose, that is such as national security or legal requirement. Option 2. Public interest purpose, for policy making or better delivery of services. And third, economic purpose, to provide for a level playing field or for a monetary consideration. That's why statement 1 is correct. Then non-personal data can be classified as public non-personal data collected or generated by the government in the course of publicly funded works. For example, anonymized data or land record of vehicle registration can be considered as public non-personal data. Community non-personal data, raw or functional data without any processing, which is a source from a community or natural person. For example, data sheets collected by municipal corporation or public electric utilities. And private non-personal data which is collected or generated by private entities through privately owned processes, derived insight, algorithm or proprietary knowledge. That's why statement 2 is also correct. Let's see the next question. With reference to stages in schooling and number of years allocated in India, consider the following pairs. Statement 1, foundational stage 5 years, preparatory stage 5 years, and statement 3, secondary stage 4 years. Now, which of the pairs given above are correctly matched? Option A, 1 and 2 only. Option B, 2 and 3 only. Option C, 1 and 3 only. And option D, all are correct. So here the correct option will, foundational stage 5 years is absolutely correct. Preparatory stage 5 years is incorrect because it's not 5, rather it's will 3 years. Okay. Secondary stage 4 years is absolutely correct. So the correct option will 1 and 3 is correct. That is statement C. Option C is absolutely correct. The correct option will 1 and 3 only. Okay. Let's see the explanation. The National Education Policy 2020 recommends that the existing structure of school education must be restructured to make it more relevant to the needs of students at a different stage of their development. The current 10+2 structure of school education will be redesigned into 5+3+3+4 design compromising 5 years of foundational stage for ages 3 to 8, 3 years for preparatory stage for ages 8 to 11 years from classes 3 to 5, and 3 years of middle stage for ages 11 to 14 and or classes 6 to 8, 4 years or secondary stages for ages 14 to 18 or classes 9 to 12. Hence statement C is correct. Let's see the next question. With reference to early childhood care and education, ECCE, consider the following statement. Statement 1, National Education Policy 2020 recommends children in the age group of 3 to 6 for ECCE. And statement 2, ECCE will deliver through Anganwadis only. Now, which of the statement given above is or are correct? Option A, 1 only. Option B, 2 only. Option C, both 1 and 2. And option D, neither 1 nor 2. So here the correct option will, the National Education Policy 2020 recommends children in the age group of 3 to 6 for ECCE is absolutely correct. ECCE will be delivered through Anganwadis only. This is incorrect. So the correct option will option A, that is 1 only. Let's see the explanation. Early childhood care and education consists of play-based and activity-based learning consisting alphabets, language, puzzle, painting and music for children in the early years of their life. It recommends that ECCE for children in the age group of 3 to 6 should be incorporated in the school structure by following the 5+3+3+4 design of school curriculum. Hence statement 1 is correct. Now, ECCE will deliver through standalone Anganwadis located with primary school, pre-primary sections, existing primary school and stand-alone preschool. That's why it's not only Anganwadis. That's why statement 2 is incorrect. And further, a national curriculum or pedagogical framework for ECCE will be developed by National Council for Education Research and Training, that is NCERT. An Anganwadi worker with senior secondary qualification and above will be given a 6-month certification program in ECCE. Clear? That's why here the statement 1 is correct and 2 is incorrect. That's all for this session. If you like this session, do like, share and subscribe our channel Easy Education. I will bring back with a new series. Till then, stay well, take care and keep studying. Thanks for watching the video.